Coming up on the CrossFit Games Update Show, the 2014 Fittest Woman on Earth had a disappointing finish last year. Now, Camille Leblanc-Bazinet is on a mission to reclaim her crown. Roy Gamboa is hoping the third time is the charm in Carson. And Travis Williams has experience. Now he's looking for results. We break down the qualifiers from the South Regional next. Hi everybody, welcome to today's edition of the CrossFit Games Update Show. I'm Sean Woodland with Annie Sakamoto and Tommy Marquez, taking a look at the individuals from the South Regional who will be competing at the 2016 Reebok CrossFit Games. And on the women's side, all eyes will be on Camille Leblanc-Bazinet.
Yeah, and not necessarily for the reason she might always want, especially because last year she had a less than ideal performance right after winning the games. The year before that, she had a less than ideal performance, so we're kind of hoping she bounces back.
Yeah, 5 women from the South Regional, led by Camille Leblanc-Bazinet, who won the regional. 2 vets bookend 3 individual rookies, and the veterans are, of course, Camille Leblanc-Bazinet and then Candice Wagner, who finished in 5th place. So Camille Leblanc-Bazinet is making her 7th trip to the CrossFit Games, and Tommy touched on this. Before she won it, she'd been in the top 10. Then she goes 13th, drops out of the top 10. Then she wins. Then she finishes 16th. Is she a threat to get back to the podium this year?
Definitely. She's definitely a threat. She's a past champion. I don't think you can count her out for that reason. She's also somebody who shows a lot of desire and a lot of heart in a lot of her performances. The other thing, though, with Camille is that she also shows that she can have those costly mistakes. And then not that you can't at the games, but that she really has a hard time bouncing back mentally from those mistakes. So I think as long as her head game is there, she's a genuine threat to that podium. Out
of the 4 other women out of that regional, Tommy, who do you think has the best performance?
Well, I'm kind of torn because you have an athlete in Candice Wagner who's got the experience. Alexis Johnson's another athlete I think could do well. But for me, out of that group, it's Whitney Capalucci. This is an athlete that's been knocking on the door for quite some time, finally making it to the games at regionals. Outside of a 22nd place finish in regional event 4, everything else was inside the top 10. She had 4 top 5s, an event win. And this is actually all you need to know about her to know she's going to be tough. She was a rugby player at the University of New Mexico. First, rugby breeds a different kind of athlete. And I know personally from where my family's from in New Mexico that it's pretty hard to grow up in New Mexico. So if you can do both of those at the same time, you're doing pretty good.
Over on the men's side, we have 2 games veterans and then 3 rookies making their individual debuts at the CrossFit Games. Roy Gamboa leads the way for the men. He won this regional, and Gamboa's been interesting. I mean, he's 3rd trip to the games this year, 22nd twice in a row, but now is this the year where he makes that next step?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is definitely an opportunity for him to have his breakout year. You look at his regional performance first. It's his 2nd straight year winning the South. He had 4 top 3s. You know, his 2nd in a regional, Nate, blew me away primarily because he was doing his strict muscle-ups basically with an L-sit added in. And I expect him to follow suit along the likes of Margot Alvarez and China Cho, who in their 3rd year at the Games really shone for the first time. The first year, especially with Gamboa, he's just happy to be there, make it to the games, be a games athlete. 2nd year, you start to see them figure it out a little bit, tie a couple good performances together on individual events. 3rd year, now they know how to string an entire weekend or week together, and that's when we see the breakout year for them. So I'm hoping that's the case for Roy.
And Travis Williams is making his 2nd appearance at the CrossFit Games. Last year as a rookie, he was 32nd. How much improvement can we expect to see from him?
More improvement than anyone else, primarily because I think he's my pick for the most improved award for this year. Last year as a Games rookie, you know, his story with weight loss, going from overweight to an athlete, is well documented. I think because of that, making the Games, he was just happy to be there, happy to soak in the environment, be able to be a Games athlete, similar to what I mentioned for Roy Gamboa. He even mentioned to Pat Sherwood one time that he didn't know what to do between events. He just went and sat down and watched other heats and didn't really know how to warm up, cool down, all of that stuff. I think that's in the rear view mirror. He has a tenacity unlike some other athletes that I've seen, where he can just kind of flip the crazy switch and go at an irresponsible pace just to try and blow himself up to win a workout. So I think that coupled with knowing what to expect at the games, this could be a much bigger year for him.
Annie, when you look at the three rookies from the men's side who are going to the games, who do you think has the best showing?
I think Collins did a really good job. He had only one finish outside the top 10 at regionals, and that was the first workout. You could even just chalk that up to nerves. But I think, really speaking to what Tommy said, for all three of these gentlemen, they need to look to just be mid-pack that weekend. They need to look to gain some experience, some knowledge, and really it's on who can repeat, come back in 2017 and take that knowledge and experience and build on that.
Well, those are the individuals from the South Regional going to the 2016 Reebok CrossFit Games. Remember, soccer stadium tickets are still available. Go to games.crossfit.com for those, and you will at least be at the facility. You're going to see some great action, and you will get to see all the action in one way or another that takes place at the StubHub Center. That's going to do it for us for today. For Annie Sakamoto and Tommy Marquez, I'm Sean Woodland. We'll be back tomorrow to take a look at the California Regional.